Business between mainland and Zanzibar causes debate in Council of Representatives session. Grandmother slaughters 6 grandchildren and 1 child east of Uganda. Simba Sports Club refutes any sponsor claims of having a certificate. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Vanessa Victor. Let's get started with the national news. Zanzibar's Minister of Industry and Trade, Ambassador Amina Salum Ali, has delivered her ministry's budget, with business between the mainland and Zanzibar a key discussion point, after the ministry admitted it has dropped due to various impediments and charges.
We want to ensure that seaweed harvests do benefit our citizens. The ministry, in collaboration with ZPCC and investors from Indonesia, are expecting to establish seaweed factory as well as educate farmers on proper seaweed farming in 4 different regions and find proper markets of the crop.
Speaker.
Honorable Minister, we are talking about sugar from Zanzibar being permitted to export the product outside Zanzibar. However, in the meantime, I have been wondering why sugar prices are high in the Isles while we have sugar factories here. I would like to call on the minister responsible to allow importation of sugar in Zanzibar so that prices can be reduced due to high competition.
Ili sukari ishuke bei, wananchi wetu wapate
MV Victoria, Serengeti and Butiama, which have not been providing passenger transport services on Lake Victoria between Bukoba, Mwanza and Nansio for over 5 years, have caused a drop in the number of passengers from 500,000 in 2013-2014 to 200,000 in 2017-2018, with cargo passed through Mwanza port also dropping by 20.7%.
Ferry has been improved. We have no fear anymore. The government has done a wonderful job. There is nothing to complain about. Ferry charges are high to the point that people are running away from using the vessel. For example, on 1st of every month, we pay 28,000 shillings for 1 ton of cargo. But if it is 1 ton and 100,000 tons, they charge the cargo as 2 tons. We would like to call on TPA leaders to do something on this matter.
The Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Water and Irrigation, Professor Kitila Mkumbo, has directed DAWASA along with the Wami Water Board in Ruvuma region to identify and register water wells as well as to treat them so as to help prevent a cholera outbreak.
Wananchi wa Dar es Salaam wakiunganishwa katika mfumo rasmi wa maji kupitia DAWASA.
I would like to direct DAWASA and the DAWASA board to install kiosks in the worst affected areas of Dar es Salaam so that the residents of those areas will be able to be connected to water supply officially. I must say that this is just one of a series of measures which must be done immediately in order to fight the cholera outbreak in Dar es Salaam. I would like to direct DAWASA to install kiosks in the affected areas so that residents there can pay the due amount in order to receive water supply. And I must add that these areas are well-known parts of the city in Vugunguti. I must say that according to the Permanent Secretary's report, 99% of cholera cases were caused by water which was not supplied by DAWASA. So I would like to tell all people who have drilled wells privately so that our experts will be able to go to these wells to not only measure them, but also apply germ killers to them.
Eti na maji yanafurika kwenye mabomba na watu wana raha.
I would like to caution all of you against accepting a certain sort of behavior which I have noticed. When water is properly installed in various parts of town, and all that residents have to do is to turn on the tap to receive water, some among us are still not happy about this. Hence, I would like to warn our youth to avoid this type of bad behavior.
The government has said that one of the ways it plans on fighting against new HIV/AIDS infections is preparing a bill for the amendment of the law. Once this bill has been prepared, it will be sent to Parliament with the aim of reducing the age of the youth to 15 years old so that they can be legally recognized as being worthy of receiving treatment without the supervision or guidance of their parents.
Na moja jambo ambalo serikali tunaenda kulifanya, tunataka tufanye mambo makubwa mawili.
One among the things that our government is going to do is reduce age permit. It is true that our children begin having sexual intercourses at younger age. Statistics have revealed that between 15 to 19 years, 27% of our girls have been pregnanted or having children already. As the government, we have decided to send a bill to the Parliament to reduce the age permit to 15 years. Passing of this bill will allow youth in the country to receive treatment on their own without parents' permission, as how it is now. HIV/AIDS is still a challenge in Tanzania, affecting many people's lives, health and developments, from family to government to private levels. We believe that this challenge cannot be tackled by the government alone. It is the responsibility of private sector to contribute in reducing the ratio of the disease by providing awareness and fund relevant resources. In the past 17 years of this campaign, we have managed to contribute 13 billion shillings from different stakeholders who contribute their funds by climbing Mount Kilimanjaro and cycling. Annually, it is estimated that more than 70,000 Tanzanians are new victims of HIV, which is equivalent to 6,000 new HIV patients every month and 2,000 people getting affected every day in Tanzania.
A total of 400,003 hectares of forest have disappeared in the country due to increase in land use caused by an increase in population. This has led to destruction of the environment because of various human activities, including search for energy for cooking, such as firewood and charcoal, as well as agriculture and logging.
I would like to say that our dependence on charcoal as a form of energy has resulted in us cutting down trees anyhow. I must say that the improper burning within forests that occurs regularly, and the fact that livestock have used water sources are also two other factors which have contributed to the pollution of the environment in our area. I would like to say that we are firmly against the wanton cutting down of trees. I must also say that we are against the improper burning within forests which takes place now and then. I would like to say that our long period of using plastic bags has resulted in environmental pollution. I must say that this long period of using plastic bags has also resulted in the deaths of our livestock.
A teacher from Nan Primary School in Ngorongoro District, Arusha Region, Solomon Letatu, aged 30, has been caught by the police in Arusha with an AK-47 as well as 5 bullets and is being accused of involving himself with a dangerous international poaching and robbery network.
na bunduki hii. Hii ni bunduki ya kivita.
He has been arrested with a war gun, which carries 30 bullets. Having this gun, one can conduct deadly criminal offenses, even abduction. He has agreed on possession of the gun and declared his network. I'm calling on his fellow gang members to surrender themselves.
The Higher Education Students' Loan Board has released a guide for how loans will be provided in the 2019-2020 educational year, with requirements for those requesting loans reduced, and the government adding 23 billion shillings to accommodate the higher learning students, estimated to reach 128,285.
Umri sasa wa mtu atakaomba mikopo umeongezeka mpaka miaka 35.
Age limit of taking loans has been extended up to 35 years, where last year it was 33 years. This means that a person with 35 years of age can ask for a loan. We have decided to make these changes after receiving opinions from different stakeholders. We have looked at the time frame of issuing loans. Before, it was just 3 years, but now we have extended to 5 years. These are major changes that have been made following the government target of increasing students' loans of 23 billion shillings. One among the major challenges that students fail while filling these loans forms is attachment of certificates like affidavit for students who are orphans, or other filing like if they are disabled, without presenting the rightful certified documents. Unfortunately, this process is passing through a system that only identifies relevant certificates.
Over 300 laborers collecting sand at Mlongoine mines in Arumeri district, Arusha region, have met to complain of the small payments they've been receiving for labor for over 7 years, with their economy continuing to be difficult, while few individuals are alleged to profit from the money being created.
It is painful. Right now, I have a family that depends on me. I'm only paid 3,000 shillings. How can I afford to feed my family, clothe them, and even pay rent? Is it really fair? My husband works here, earning peanuts, which does not meet our family demands. The job that he does is loading sand on lorries, which is even putting his health at risk. Sometimes he fails even to go to hospital after being injured at work. I have already finished their conflict yesterday. I urged them to have legal dialogues and reach a consensus agreement. And on Monday 10th, I will be here to witness the amendments.
Tomorrow is Eid al-Fitr, where Muslims across the country join others globally to celebrate Eid al-Fitr after the end of the holy month of Ramadan nationally. The Eid Mass will be held in Tanga and will be followed by a council where Prime Minister Majaliwa will represent the Vice President Samia Suluhu Hassan. The Managing Director of ITV Radio 1, Joyce Mhavile, and all the employees here at IPP Media would like to wish all Muslims and Eid al-Fitr. After this break. International news. An elderly grandmother with mental disabilities has slaughtered 6 grandchildren aged between 6 and 12 and one of her children in Mbarara, southeast of Uganda. She was later killed by people angered by the incidents.
Lydia, a grandmother who suffers from mental disorder, killed 6 grandchildren. One was just 6 months old, as well as her own daughter, who was also mentally unstable.
6 months and the oldest 10.
President Uhuru Kenyatta has said that women in the world deserve to receive the same opportunities as men to hold high-level leadership positions. President Kenyatta said this during the Women Deliver 2019 three-day conference in Vancouver, Canada.
We gave women, for the first time in the history of Kenya, an opportunity to serve not just in government, but in positions that traditionally were never held by women. We had a woman Minister of Defense. We had a woman in charge of the public service. We had a woman in charge of foreign affairs, a woman in charge of health. As a result of that, in my second term, 2 of those women were actually elected governors in their respective states because people saw the capacity and the ability of these people. So I think the first and most important thing is opportunity. No one gender should hold in any government position more than or less than 1/3, the 2/3 rule. We've been successful in the executive. Like I've told you, as far as the executive is concerned, we have managed and we have secured that. We have been successful in the judiciary. We have been successful in devolved government.
But the rights we enjoy in Canada and the rights so many have enjoyed around the world are not guaranteed. Progress can backslide. We're seeing it happen. Gender equality is under attack. And I can only imagine how hard it is to be a feminist on the front lines. But that's the history of women's rights. Every step forward is met by another pushback. Women routinely face misogyny, racism, and hatred. And for women living with disabilities, discrimination is all too often the norm, not the exception.
And the police force in Burundi has caught a group of robbers at the border of Burundi and Tanzania after the robbers were attacked by defense and safety organs in Tanzania and tried to escape to Burundi.
When they ran from Tanzania to Burundi, they had a confrontation with law enforcement organs, whereby 3 were killed and 3 were arrested. One other suspect was arrested in Tanzania. We are awaiting his extradition. Anyone who thinks that he can carry a weapon and cause disruption, then he is mistaken.
And that's where we leave off with international news, but we'll be back with business after this break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
To be rich, I have to be a business person.
It's not an easy road at all.
People need to understand. You must quickly think, how cost effective are you going to be?
Business acts as a way in which it can bridge that gap.
Business Edition will keep you informed on latest developments in the financial sector, extractive industry, tourism, agriculture, energy, construction, and so much more. Meet entrepreneurs who create employment opportunities. Watch Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Thank you for staying with us, and on to business news. Tunduru District Council in Ruvuma Region through the Tunduru Agricultural Marketing Cooperative Union TAMCU has conducted its first auction of sesame through the warehouse system, with some farmers expressing happiness at being able to sell their harvest at 3,053 shillings per kilo, with 478 tons of the crop purchased.
On unregulated market, sesame was sold for 2,300 shillings, but today it's selling for 3,080 shillings, which will make a big difference for farmers. As you know, a lot of farmers rely on agriculture for their livelihood. This will allow farmers to procure farm implements. I ask that those who will be responsible, once they receive the money, there should be no delays, so farmers can receive payment on time. Previously, the kind of farming you practiced was subsistent, but now in the fifth phase government, the focus is on commercial farming so that you can gain economic freedom.
The government has encouraged youth in the country to engage in commercial farming as it will help them increase their income as well as contribute to the national income.
This is meant to give practical lessons like what is going on here, but to be extended to division levels, as the government, through the program to advance agriculture through the SDP2 program, it is supposed to be implemented. I ask local government officials to ensure training centers are built, so this is the only way. This is to give practical lessons like what is going on here, but to be extended to division levels as the government, through the program to advance agriculture through the SDP2 program. I ask local government officials to ensure training centers are built. This is the only way we can see agriculture revolutionized. From 2015 to date, we've trained more than 850 youths through this center in 17 different groups, learning how to grow vegetables, keep livestock, as well as beekeeping. The training is for 14 days and covers training on health nutrition as well as renewing of the mindset and entrepreneurship. We built productivity capacity for 17,340 youths in rural areas in various groups. Youths have been taught about commercial farming, financial management, and irrigation farming.
As Mtwara region borders neighboring Mozambique, the government in the region has warned mineral traders that will engage in trade of minerals without following the sales laws and procedures.
We've had cases on minerals entering our region, so what we are going to do now is to regulate the market so we can declare. If you fail to do so, then the law will take its course. If you deal in minerals, then follow set rules and regulations. From the year 2016 to March 2019, 5 kilograms of gold was extracted, so you can see that mineral extraction capacity in our region is still very low.
And that's all for business. Sports is next.
Hi, my name is Kotaro Tokuda.
What's up? My name is Céline Garnier.
I'm John Barnes from Liverpool Football Club. The hip hop, a hip it, the hip it, the hip hop. You don't stop the rockin' to the bang bang boogie. Say up, jump the boogie to the rhythm of the boogie to beat. Now what you hear?
I'm watching Sports Gazette.
I'm watching Sport Gazette.
And you're watching Sports Gazette
with Sebastian.
With Sebastian. Peace out.
Yes! And you can also watch Sports Gazette for highlights and interviews regarding sports. Do not miss Sports Gazette every Wednesday at 7 p.m. only on Capital Television.
And on to sports. The Simba Sports Club Sponsors Council Chair Hamis Kilomoni has said that he does not acknowledge any sponsor of the club, saying that he has a or the certificate.
I have seen that some things are going wrong. First of all, the club has conducted elections. They have elected leaders. Now, what are the leaders doing? Because those that were not elected have made a management. Now, the management is above the leaders. I'm asking my leaders, what are they doing?
Mobile company Tigo have launched a new promotion known as Soca La Africa, where its customers can win a trip to witness the Africa Cup of Nations in Egypt.
Run for 90 days, and this promotion would give the opportunity to 10 selected Tigo customers to travel to Egypt and watch the African tournament. So they are not just going to watch the African tournament, they are going to watch national team, the Taifa Stars, play. So you can imagine the excitement. So apart from the 10 customers that will travel to Egypt to watch, we also have over 50 million shillings of cash prizes to be won by customers.
FIFA has awarded Qatar the next 2 Club World Cups for this December, when Liverpool will represent Europe as champions, and in 2020.
Tests for the World Cup being held in the Gulf state in 2022. Explaining the decision on behalf of the FIFA Council following their meeting before Wednesday's annual Congress in Paris, Victor Montaglian, the president of the Confederation of North, Central American and Caribbean Association Football, said he thinks it's a great opportunity to test the facilities. Montaglian acknowledged FIFA had made the decision to send 2 more of its competitions to Qatar without having discussed human rights problems in its meeting.
West Ham fear that they will miss out on Andre Gomes to Everton despite lodging a £20 million bid for the Barcelona midfielder.
To be as busy as they were when they spent £100 million on 9 players last summer, Manuel Pellegrini has made a new central midfielder a priority and believes Gomes would have a major impact on his side's development. The London Stadium Club have already had an £18 million bid for the Portugal player knocked back and have returned to Barcelona with a new offer. It is thought the Spanish champions want at least £25 million for the 25-year-old. However, West Ham are concerned they will struggle to convince Gomes to join them, even if they agree a deal with Barcelona.
Drawn up by top clubs to reshape the Champions League after 2024 would create a Super League. Motivated by greed that UEFA should firmly reject. The president of Europe's Football Leagues Association said this, and here is more on this story.
Christer Olsen, who heads the European leagues, the collective body that includes the Premier League, told The Guardian that UEFA should instead be looking to improve competitive balance so that success is not so concentrated among rich clubs. Olsen called for 20% of Champions League revenues to be redistributed outside the participating clubs and for Europe's leagues to share money more equally. Speaking at the start of a potentially fraught week in football politics, Olsen described proposals presented by UEFA and the European Club Association last month as a closed league designed to give 24 top clubs permanent participation in an expanded, lucrative Champions League.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin. My name is Vanessa Victor. Thank you for watching and have a good night. Tell us, how has it been going at this year's festival?
Well, the turnout, Vanessa, is amazing, as it is.
Thomas, hello.
Nice to be there with you.
What is the purpose of this meeting and who will be in attendance?
Talking about how African countries can stop relying to a large extent on...
We are definitely seeing a lot of deeply political films, either directly treating a political issue or with a political subtext.
Don't miss the live special reports between Capital Television and Dashwell Television at 9:30 p.m.